In Washington, the House and Senate approved a 4-year extension of the Patriot Act today. It extends 2 provisions of the 2001 Act, allowing for roving wiretaps and searches of business records looking for terrorist threats. A 3rd provision gives the government power to watch suspects who might not have ties to terrorist groups. The measure is now on the president's desk, awaiting his signature. The Supreme Court today upheld the Arizona law that punishes businesses for knowingly hiring illegal workers. The ruling is a defeat for the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, several civil rights groups, and the Obama administration. Steve Bosch has details tonight from the KUSI newsroom. Steve?
Sandra, the key issue in this case was whether Arizona could take away the business license of an employer who refuses to use the federal E-Verify system. This is an electronic database where businesses can verify a worker's legal status after being hired. But businesses that depend on illegal workers, including the vast majority of agriculture, do not use it because E-Verify is not mandatory but voluntary.
At some point along the line, if we're to have a legitimate labor market with Mexico, we need to be able to verify that people who are here and apply for work have a legal right to be here. The American people actually demand that. It's not an unreasonable demand.
Alan Burson, the Commissioner of Customs and Border Protection, was the speaker at a Rotary Club luncheon today. He said the state's gumming up the works with myriad immigration laws is exactly why we need comprehensive immigration reform. And that, of course, includes a path to residency.
We need to figure out a way in which we will regularize the status of the 12 million people who are here illegally. The fact that 12 million people are here illegally is a result of bipartisan failures. Both parties, administrations for the last 35 years have produced that result.
The E-Verify system works, but again, it's voluntary. Other states will follow Arizona, and that will put pressure on the Congress to mandate E-Verify nationwide. Congressman Brian Bilbray agrees but denounces amnesty. His press release says it's imperative that we end the employer's ability to hire an illegal worker and that we eliminate any notion of amnesty so that illegal immigrants are without 2 major incentives for breaking our laws. Senator Bob Menendez of New Jersey agrees with the court's ruling, but not the rest of Arizona's law dealing with police contacts.
I am hopeful the court will ultimately sustain the Arizona District Court's decision to overturn key sections of Arizona's notorious Show Me Your Papers law.
Now, what Senator Mendez was referring to was the more controversial Arizona law dealing with police checking a person's immigration status. Sandra?
And Steve, what about the status of those other provisions involving police stops?
Well, they're going to be a little more difficult. Last month, an appeals court ruling upheld a lower court blocking enforcement of the police being able to question someone's immigration status, even if they reasonably suspect that person is here illegally. Those provisions, of course, are going to end up at the Supreme Court as well.
Steve Bosch, thanks so much.